this morning's class is going to be a mixture of yin and a little flow. So we're going to start with the yin poses, and then we'll get moving a little bit later. So I continue to hope all of you are healthy and safe, and that your loved ones are healthy and safe. It's going to be another long few weeks, but I think we're all kind of settling into what our new normal is, but that's not without saying that it still doesn't bring some sort of anxiousness and worry. It's I know we've been walking a lot to get out in the air, even when it's cold and windy. So as much as you can get out, that helps. Once again, the more we can continue to be on our mat and just doing these things where at least we all know we're together doing the same thing like we would be in the studio. I think that's really helpful too. So with that, find either a comfortable seated position or lay down on your back for your breath work, and just very gently float your eyes shut. And just notice the breath moving through the body, not necessarily trying to direct it anywhere yet. Just allow yourself to sit with your natural breath. Allow yourself to be aware of the senses, the gaze behind your eyelids, or maybe a soft gaze towards the end of your mats. Allow your skin to feel the air moving over it. Allow yourself to hear the sounds around you. Continue to let all of those senses keep you in your present moment. Allow those senses and the breath, maybe to give the mind a little bit of rest. Feeling your thoughts soften, not expecting them just to stop, but maybe at least stay quiet for a while. Take a back seat to your practice and just allow yourself just to be in the moment for this next hour or so. Bring your hands together at heart center. And take a moment to set an intent for your practice today. Once again, just the simple intent, as I keep going back to, is just allowing yourself to move the body and be with the breath, to nurture yourself today. Or of course, allowing your practice to use that energy to send it out to a loved one that really needs that extra energy right now, or maybe just out into the greater world right now. Just take a moment to inhale, draw that intent into the heart center, let it drop down and settle. Bow the head down to the hands, just drawing in just a little deeper, letting it really settle. Then very slowly float your eyes open. So before we come into any of our yin poses, let's go ahead and come over onto our hands and knees and just do a few cat and cows just to get our spine moving this morning. And I'm going to take my handy blanket here, put it under my knees. Okay. Once again, hands just a little bit further apart than the shoulders. Get you a nice wide stance. Then inhale, lift the heart up. And exhale, round up through the back. And inhale, stretch, extend the spine forward. Exhale, round up through the spine. And inhale, reach the spine long. Exhale and round. And inhale, reaching the spine long. Exhale, rounding up. And inhale, reach. And exhale, curl the tailbone under. Allow the head to relax in between the arms as much as you can. One more time, inhale. And exhale, round. Good. Inhale, come back into a neutral spine. And let's take a child's pose too. So take the knees wide and apart and sit your hips back. Reach the arms forward. If the hips don't sit back to your heels easily, you can place a blanket behind your thighs. And as you're in child's pose, just feel your heart melting down towards the earth. Feel the spine just nice and long and reaching forward. Allow your head to rest either on your mat or maybe fold your arms underneath you and place your head on the back of your hands. Just once again, so you can really relax and release the back of your neck. And very slowly come all the way back up. Good. We're going to come into butterfly pose. So basically, cowboy's pose, just butterfly in our yin practice. So bring the soles of your feet together. So since we're going to be here a little bit longer, I would really suggest moving your feet away from your groin instead of trying to pull them in really tight. If you have really open hips, that's probably going to be okay for you, but we're going to be here a little bit longer, so I would take those feet forward instead of pulling them really deeply into you. So just take a nice deep breath in and exhale. Just allow yourself to release over the legs. Once again, you're not trying to get it into your deepest stretch. Just allow your upper body just to kind of hang heavy and float over the legs. Try not to force anything. And just allow yourself to be with a very natural breath in your body right now. So I think it's important during this time to acknowledge that we do have feelings and anxiety and worry. I think it's important to know that we all are feeling that way. I think it's important to acknowledge it and know that it's there. And allow your breath maybe once again to help soften those feelings. And allow the breath to redirect the mind to, once again, the senses. Feeling the air moving across your body, the sounds around you. Whatever your gaze is on, maybe behind the eyelids, maybe towards the end of your mat or your feet. And very slowly sit all the way back up. Bring your knees up and then allow yourself to windshield wiper the knees in front of you. Just allowing now the thighs to turn in after being turned out. Okay, so we're going to come over onto our stomachs for cat pulling its tail. And I'm so sorry, let me rephrase that. You're going to come onto your backs. Once again, nothing has changed about my confusion teaching sometimes even though I'm at home. Take your arms out to the sides. Bring your knees into your chest and maybe even scoot your hips a little bit over to your left, just a little bit. Take your legs over to the right. So just like you're coming to recline twist at the end of class. So from here, you're going to take the bottom leg, which is your right leg. You're going to scooch it back underneath you a little bit, and you're going to grab a hold of that foot. So once again, this is a little bit of a twister. Listening skills are really important right now. The left leg can either stay bent, or you can extend that leg out. So two things we're getting into right now. So nice rotation in the spine, and a little bit of stretch through the right thigh. If this position is difficult for you, I'm actually more interested in the thigh right now since we have been seated quite a bit. If this isn't really working for you, then come onto your stomach and just go ahead and bend the right leg in and grab a hold of it or your hand leg. Or if you have a belt at home, wrap the belt around and pull the leg in instead. As you're in cat pulling its tail or whatever version you're doing, feel free to float the eyes shut if you'd like, or once again, just soft gaze. Just nice, natural, easy breath. If you are in the position that I'm in cat pulling its tail, you might also even feel a little bit of openness through the outside of the left thigh, down that left seam of your pants. Take a moment, see where you're holding any tension. Try to release the face, release the shoulders. We'll stay here about another minute. Notice where your mind is wandering to. Once again, that's an observation, not a judgment. Very slowly release the foot. If you're on your stomach, feel free just to stay on your stomach. If you've been in the rotation, slowly come back onto your back. Just take a moment, pull the knees into the shoulders, so a little bit more of a wide open, hug the knees into your chest pose. If you want to rock side to side, just like a gentle rock side to side. Okay. Place your feet down. Same thing, you scooch those hips over to your right just a little bit. Pull the knees in, let the knees fall over to your left. Once you're there, move the left leg underneath you a little bit more. Grab hold of the left foot with the right hand. If you want to extend the right leg out, if it needs to stay bent, it can stay bent, and that's okay too. Make sure that as we're in these deeper poses for a longer period of time, just that reminder to just be at the edge, not trying to push yourself into this really deep, intense stretch. Check in on your breath, make sure the breath is still very easy and natural, fluid in the body. Take that scan of unnecessary tension through the face and shoulders, maybe even down through the toes. Very slowly come back on to the back. If you're on your stomach, once again, go ahead and just stay on your stomach. Once again, gently pull the knees in towards the shoulders, maybe a very gentle rock back and forth. We'll do one more yin pose after this, and then we will get into just some nice gentle flow work this morning. So since we were not able to do our normal release class today, I still encourage you at home, if you do have anything, tennis balls, something that maybe you can still give yourself that self-love. I think that would still be a really good thing to do, especially around the back of the hips and the glutes, the thighs, all those places that are normally tight on us but are probably a little tighter right now. Okay, so from here we're going to roll over onto our stomachs and come into Sphinx pose. Bring your forearms onto your mats, elbows underneath the shoulders. Once again, just allow yourself to rest in this pose. So we're not trying for 2 minutes or so to be like all really pulled up and upright. Once again, yin, a little bit more, less energy, inert. Just allow yourself just to be really nice and easy in this pose. Just a reminder, if this feels like it's too much for you, walk your elbows forward so you're not quite as high up. But you'll still be an extension for the front of the spine. And just putting a little compression into the low back right now. Head can either look forward. If If you want to drop it down, feel free to experiment with what feels best. Notice if the legs actually start to contract up. I notice my right leg always likes to work a little too hard when I'm in Sphinx pose and in practice. So maybe just take a scan once again, make sure that you're not tensing up in the glutes too much. Once again, as always, the face is always a place where we hold the jaw, the forehead and eyebrows, lips. And from here, just slowly release down onto the belly. Allow yourself just to fold your hands over one another, turn the cheek to the side. Let's take a little bit of a rebound pose here. And as you're laying on your stomach, you can just notice how the body feels. Feel warmth in certain places. And then go ahead, bring your head back to center, bring your hands underneath you. Come through hands and knees to come up and back into downward facing dog. I'm going to leave my blanket across my mat because we will be putting our knees back down. So if you do have padding underneath you, I would go ahead and leave it there. Feel the length through the spine. Once again, bend those knees a little bit. Get that spine stretched out. And a nice, beautiful 90-degree angle in your down dog so that spine is long. 90-degree angle does not mean that the legs have to be straight. So we've been talking about this in practice this past couple of weeks. I want you to bring some awareness into the hands. And I want you to feel like you're pushing your forearms forward and see if that doesn't take a little bit more of your pressure into the very bottom of the fingertips, so the very top of your palm, instead of everything being dropped down into the wrist crease. So once again, just think about maybe pressing the forearms forward just a little bit. It's not going to take all your weight into the top of the palms, but it hopefully will give a little bit more balance through the entire palm of the hand, once again, instead of just all in the wrist crease. And from that strength pressing down through the palms of the hands, feel yourself pushing your hips up and back. Once again, imagining that those hips are over your heels. So once again, then we have a balance of weight between the arms and the legs. That the legs are really working to hold the entire weight of the body to not just the shoulders, arms, wrists. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. And exhaling out. Deep breath in. And exhaling out. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Step the right leg in between your hands. Bring your left knee down to your mat. Hands can either stay on the floor, or if you want to bring them up onto the thigh, or inhale, take the arms all the way up in Virgosasana. Toes can either be tucked or untucked on the left leg. Get a nice stretch a little bit higher now into the hip flexor. Again, if you need to move the right foot out a little bit to take some compression out of that front right hip, move your foot out a little bit. Take 2 more breaths here, inhaling and exhaling out. And deep breath in and exhale out. Good. Place your hands down on your mat. Lift up and back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lengthen forward into plank pose, full plank. Exhale, lift up and back into down dog. So just move with the breath. Inhale, forward into plank. Exhale, lift up and back. And inhale, forward into plank pose. Nice and strong legs. Exhale, lift up and back into down dog. This time, if you want to take a float, inhale, come into plank, either taking your knees down to your mat or lowering down to chaturanga if you'd like. Come into low cobra or up dog. Exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. And 2 more breaths in down dog. Trying to once again press those forearms forward just a little bit. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Exhale, step it in between your hands. Right knee comes down this time. Hands on the floor or on a prop. Front thigh or all the way up, reaching up through the fingertips. Feel the front leg and the back leg drawing in towards the midline of your body. Feel the strength of that pulling in give you stability in your pose. Place your hands down. Lift up and back into downward facing dog again. And same pattern that we just did. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, up and back into down dog. Inhale, lengthen into plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lengthen into plank. Exhale, up and back into down dog. Inhale into plank, flowing this time if you'd like to, lowering down strongly. Inhale, low cobra or up dog. Exhale, up and back into downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. Inhale, exhale out 1. Deep breath in. Exhale out 2. Deep breath in. Exhale out 3. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, make your way into a forward fold at the front of your mat. Good. Once you're in your forward fold, release the head. Let the upper body just dangle over the legs. You want to grab opposite elbows and sway side to side. Feel free to do that. Once again, soft knees, allow the low back to open up. Again, if you're really open and having straight knees does not strain the back of the legs too much, feel free to do that. On your next inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up through the fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands together, heart center, coming into Tadasana. Take a moment in Tadasana. Press down through the balls of your feet. Press directly down into the center of your heel. Think about a little tripod underneath your foot. Hug your shins in towards one another just a little bit. Pull up through the back of the legs. Slight engagement in the lower core muscles. Feel all that energy reaching down through your mat, through the floor, all the way into the earth. And then feel from the waist up, everything lifting, lengthening, and stretching up towards the sky. And floating very easily on top of those strong legs underneath you. Again, come back to that nice, easy breath in the body. And inhale, take your arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive over your legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Pull your shoulders into your spine. Exhale, fold back over. Step your right foot back, bring your right knee down to your mat. Keep your hands on your mat for a moment. From here, keep your right fingertips on. Bend the right knee. Left hand, right foot. So you're going to turn towards your left thigh with the upper body. So big twister class today. Use those listening skills as to cue in to everything. I know I'm just as little probably on your screen as you are to me for some of you, so do your best. So right hand down, right knee bent, turning to your left, holding the right foot with the left hand. You can always use a strap around the back foot too, or a belt. Take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale out. Another deep breath in. And exhale out. Good. Slowly release the right leg. Bring the left hand down. Tuck your back right toes. Lift up and back into downward facing dog. This time, come into plank pose. Either turn into side plank, or you can bring the right knee down, coming into a modified side plank, or turning onto the outside of the right foot, coming into full side plank. Good. Keep lifting the hips up away from your mat. So once again, concentrating on the side body once again, with being a little bit more restricted in movement at home. I want to make sure that side body is open and strong. Keep reaching out through the fingertips. Squeeze those legs together. Slowly bring the left hand down. Lift up and back into downward facing dog. And then take 3 breaths here. Inhale. Exhaling out. Deep breath in. Exhaling out. Good. Inhale, lift your right leg up behind you. Step it to the outside of the right foot. Turn your right toes out at a 45-degree angle. Bring your left knee down. So coming into lizard pose. To get into the hips though, I know it will be hard for you to see my foot, but turn onto the little toe side of your right foot. So that knee's going to fall open to the side. Staying up on your hands. Elbows down to a block, or whatever you have at home, books, Tupperware, or elbows all the way down to the earth. So hopefully a little bit of a 2-for-1 here, getting an opening through, once again, the left leg there in front of the hip, and hopefully in the back back of the right hip on that front foot. So once again, make sure you're on the blade, outside blade side of the right foot. Try to maintain integrity in your upper body so you're just not kind of hunched over. Keep that spine lengthening nice and long. Very slowly come all the way back up onto your hands if you were down on your elbows or on a prop. Scooch your right foot in so you can move your right hand to the outside of the right foot. Tuck your back toes, push off the back toes, come into a standing forward fold. Make a few breaths in your forward fold. And your next inhale, come all the way up to standing. Reach up to the fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Take a few breaths into Tadasana. Reconnect with the breath. Reconnect with your intent. Allow yourself to release the practice you've had up to this point. Inhale, take your arms up overhead. Reach, stretch up through the fingertips. Exhale, fold over the legs. Other side. Inhale, lengthen your flat into the flat back. Exhale, fold back over. Reaching your left leg back this time, left knee down. Keep your hands on your mat or blocks. Keep your left hand on your mat. Bend the left knee. Right hand reaches back, grabs a hold of the left foot. You're turning your body to your right thigh this time. If you have way openness, you can go down onto your left elbow. I offer that. I am not going to do that version, but go for it if you're way open. I know a couple of you on here have a lot of range of motion, so if you'd like to take it even deeper, please feel free to add that to your practice. I should change my calendar to April, everybody. I just noticed that. Slowly release the foot, place the hands down, lift up and back into downward facing dog. Coming into side plank on the other side, or modified side plank. Come into your plank. Either bring your left knee down or roll onto the outside of the left foot, reaching the right arm up. Lifting the left side of the body up nice and strong. Even if you're on your knee, make sure that that side body is still really active and working. Slowly bring the right hand down, lift up and back into downward facing dog. Coming into lizard pose on the other side. Inhale, lift your left leg up behind you. Step it to the outside of the left foot. Right knee comes down. Left toes turn out slightly. From here, come onto the little toe side of the left foot, allowing the left knee to drop open. Once again, up on your hands, bringing your forearms down onto something, or maybe all the way down to your mat. Feel the upper body still held, so the spine is still lengthening and stretching. Nice steady breath. Breathe into the back of the left hip, back in that left glute. Breathe into the right front hip flexor. Slowly bring yourself back up onto your hands. If you had the forearms down, scooch the left foot in, move the left hand to the outside of the left foot, tuck your back right toes, step into a forward fold at the front of your mat. Okay. Bend your knees, wrap your arms around the back of the calves, or maybe even a little bit right underneath those knees. Bend your knees enough that your belly and the bottom ribs are really resting on your thighs. Then allow the head to really relax. Once again, just allow yourself to be heavy like a rag doll over the legs. If you feel that really nice connection between the low belly and the low ribs, if you want to start to maybe straighten the legs a little bit, go ahead and do that, but don't do it at the cost of losing the connection between the belly and the low ribs on the thighs. So as you see, my knees are not all the way straight. And go ahead, release the hands back down to the earth. Once you do that, you want to straighten those legs up a little bit more. On your next inhale, come all the way up to standing, reaching the arms up. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Take that moment into Tadasana again, 3 breaths. Reconnecting. And back to the intent you set for yourself today. Inhale, kick your arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, lengthen into a flat back. Exhale, fold back over the legs. Reach your right leg back to come into warrior 2. So sorry, left leg, my fault. Left leg back, come into warrior 2. So sorry about my miscue there. So left toes are facing the long edge of your mat. Right toes are facing that short edge of your mat. Spine, once again, is lifting up and light on top of the waist. And the upper body is perpendicular to the floor. It's not at an angle reaching forward or back. Take 2 more breaths in warrior 2. Keep pressing firmly down into your feet. Come into reverse warrior. Turn the right palm up. Take a side stretch over the back leg. Once again, side stretch over. Don't back bend. Breathe into the right ribs. Inhaling. And exhaling out. Focus down at the foot or up at the right hand. Coming into side angle pose, lift up, bring your right forearm to the right thigh, reach the left arm up overhead, If the arm reaching overhead is uncomfortable, as always, you can bring the hand down to the waist instead with any shoulder issues. Good. Keep reaching out through the fingertips. Keep pressing firmly down to the back foot. As you push down in that back foot, pull your left ribs in just a little bit. So pull those left ribs down so the right side of the body is long. So the right side and left side have equal distance between them. Take 2 more breaths. One more. Good. Come all the way back up into warrior 2. Straighten the right leg. Turn the right toes in. Inhale, take the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold over your legs into a nice wide-legged forward fold. Hands down. Once again, you can come to blocks or all the way down. If your hands are on the floor, feel free to walk them back behind you. Once again, make sure the head is relaxed. Keep pressing energy out through the feet. So once again, those legs are strong and active. Walk your hands back forward if you've had them back. Bend your knees just slightly, come all the way up to standing. Reach your arms up overhead. Reach and stretch up. Turn your left toes out, come into warrior 2 on the other side. Just gently bend into the front knee, reach out through the fingertips. Once again, find the spine. Really long, straight up and down. Pressing down to the feet. Feel your thighs spreading wide and apart. A steady breath. Turn the left palm up. Come into reverse warrior. Breathe into those left ribs. Feel them spreading apart. Feel the waistline stretching. Come all the way back up and come into side angle on the other side. So left forearm to left thigh. Reach the right arm up overhead or hand to the waist. Good. Deep breath in. And exhaling out. Deep breath in. And exhaling out. It's nice and steady breath. Once again, try to keep both sides of the body nice and long. Two more breaths. Inhale. And exhale out. One more deep breath in. Exhale out. Good. On your next exhale, come all the way back up into warrior 2. Straighten the left leg. Turn the toes in. Reach up through the arms. Exhale. Fold over the legs. If you'd like a different arm variation this time, you could take the hands out to the big toes with the first 2 fingers. Pull up with the fingers, push down with the toes, bend the elbows out to the sides. It's going to take you a little bit more into a flat back. Or if you want, you can always clasp your hands behind you. And allow the arms to fall over the head a little bit to get a little bit of shoulder opening. Slowly. If you have a hold of something, release. Slowly bring your hands back to center. Once again, slightly bend those knees. Come all the way to standing. Reach the arms up overhead. Stretch up to the fingertips. Exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. Nice. Go ahead and bring your feet together underneath you into Tadasana. I'm going to move my blanket to the side here for a moment. Let's come into tree pose today. So Vrksasana, feet underneath you, hands together at heart center. Shift your weight into your left foot, turn the right toes out. Take a moment to pull up through the back of your leg. Then place the foot either staying resting on the floor or low shin and calf. Or if you want to place it all the way up, make sure once again you don't press against the side of your knee. Stay nice and tall. Once again, know that in stillness there is still movement. So allow yourself to feel the ankle maybe moving back and forth underneath you. If you'd like to slowly take your arms and reach them up overhead. Keep pulling up to the back of the leg. Keep reaching up through the side bodies. Nice, steady, gentle gazes. Bring your right hand down to the right knee or thigh and take a little side stretch over the lifted leg. Slowly come back up, reach the arms up, take your time, stretch out to the side bodies again. Bring your hands together at heart center. Turn the right leg forward, place the right foot down. Take a moment, if you need to shake out that standing leg, shake out that standing leg. Re-establish your feet underneath you. Shifting your weight now into the right foot, turn the left leg out, rest the toes on the floor for just a moment, pull up through the standing leg. Either keep the toes resting on the floor or bring them up to the side of the calf muscle or placing all the way into the upper thigh. Keep pulling up to the back of your leg. Sides of the waist are nice and long. A little engagement in those lower core muscles. Slowly extend the arms up. Bring the left hand down to the left knee or thigh. Take a little side bend over the leg that's lifted. Come all the way back up. Bring your hands together at heart center. Turn the knee forward, place the foot down. Good, shake that foot out for a moment. And then come into a seated position. So setting up for a forward fold. So if you want to place anything underneath your hips, a blanket or something, take a moment, place a blanket underneath your hips, and take your feet out in front of you. You can take a moment to sit nice and tall on the sits bones, lengthen up to the spine. Then take a nice deep breath in, and exhale, fold over the legs. If you would like to use a strap or a belt around your feet, if you're a little bit tighter, do that. If you need to bend those knees a little bit, please bend your knees. Make your appropriate modifications for your body at home. Very slowly, come all the way back up. Open your legs out to the sides into a straddle, so get into the inner thighs. Take a moment, readjust yourself on your sitting bones if you need to. Take another deep breath in and exhale. Stretch over the legs. As much as you can, try to keep reaching the spine nice and long. Nice steady breath. Slowly bring yourself back up. Bring your legs together, coming into Marching Drasana. I'm going to kind of move my blanket out from underneath me for this one. Okay, guys, bring your right knee into your chest. Cross it over as long as the entire sole of the foot stays on the mat. If you want to bend the extended leg underneath you, that's fine, or keep the leg extended, or keep the foot on the inside of the leg. Take the right arm up and take a nice rotation to the right, either hugging the knee up into the chest or bringing the elbow to the outside of the knee if you want a little bit more rotation. Good. Remember that if you do have the extended leg bent underneath you, make sure that both sit bones are still connected with the earth underneath you. Nice level chins with the floor. Slowly come back to center. Get just a little counter twist the other way. Just a nice, light, easy twist. Just a couple of breaths here. And then slowly come back to center. Unwind yourself. Extend the legs back out in front. Good. Recenter your hips if you need to. Get them nice and tall again. Then bring your left knee in. Same thing on the inside. Outside, leg extended or leg bent in. Take the left arm up, nice and tall to that side, and then rotate to your left. Coming into your rotation, once again, either pulling the knee up and in, or elbow to the outside, which is going to take you deeper into rotation, but once again, be kind to your spine, don't force it. Slowly come back to center. Just take a little counter twist the other way. Go ahead, come back, unwind yourself. Lay down on your back and we'll do a couple of bridge poses. So, all the way down, bend your knees, place your feet flat on the mat. Take a moment, bend your elbows, press into your upper arms, and move the shoulders in just a little bit into your spine. As you extend the arms out, keep the palms facing up to the ceiling for a moment. Once again, just feel that openness in the collarbones. We've kind of been working with this a little bit too. Keep that openness of the collarbones as you just gently turn your palms back down to the earth. And then just take a deep breath in and exhale. Roll the hips up, pressing down into the feet. Press across the shoulders. Feel the back muscles working too, so think about engaging and contracting the back muscles into the spine to give it stability. Once again, we're trying to extend the front of the body, so the back body, the entire back body needs to be working. Find softness in the front of your throat. Press into the very middle of the skull to help level the chin. Lower all the way back down. Rest for just a moment. Take another deep breath in. Exhale. Roll the hips up. Once again, engage the back body through the back, through the glutes, through the hamstrings. Slowly lower all the way back down. And from here, extend the left leg along your mat. Bring the right leg in, extend the right leg up. Hold the back of the right thigh. So don't pull the leg in, but actually push the back of the thigh into your hands like you're really trying to lower the foot down to the floor. And then just a little gentle pull against that leg. And at the same time as you're doing that with the leg, think about extending your right sits bone down to the end of your mat and see if that maybe doesn't give you a really nice opening on the right low back side. And you're just kind of giving yourself a little bit of traction yourself here. So once again, pushing the leg away, pulling in with the hands in the long run, the leg's really just not going anywhere, and extending your right sits bone down. Slowly bring the right knee down and extend the right leg along your mat. Same thing on the other side. Left knee comes in, extend the leg up, push the left thigh into the hands, pull the hands into the thigh, extend your left sits bone down towards the end of your mat. Slowly bring your left knee in. Go ahead and bring your right leg into to meet that left knee. Once again, sway side to side, rocking. If you want to take knee circles, as always, take knee circles. Happy baby pose, bend the knees, reach up, grab the ankles, or reaching all the way up into the soles of your feet, pulling the knees straight down to the sides of the body. Once again, you want to rock happy baby, feel free to rock happy baby. Take a moment before you come into Shavasana. If there's anything else you need in your practice, maybe a fish pose, or if you need to take a reclining twist also, take a moment to do that. If you need to put on anything warm, take a moment to put on a jacket or socks. Bringing a blanket underneath your knees if you need support for the low back during Shavasana. And just take a moment to set yourself up. Extending your legs out. Turn the palms of the hands up to the ceiling. Nice receiving position. Allow the eyes to float gently shut. Starting at the top of the head into the scalp, feel it soft. Feeling that softness continue down into the forehead, in between the eyebrows, down the temples, to the jaw, the cheeks, and into the lips, the tongue. Feeling that softness moving down through the neck, the front, the back, the sides. Feel it continue across the upper shoulders, down the upper arms, the elbows, forearms, the wrists, into the palms of the hands, into each one of your fingers. Feeling the sternum, the ribs, the navel, the low belly, all soft without any tension. Feeling that softness now in the back of the body, across the back of the shoulders, down the spine, to the back of the ribs, into the low back. And feel the pelvis and the glutes. Feel them just heavy into the earth. And feel that softness going down to the upper legs, the knees, the lower legs, into the ankles, into the soles of your feet, into each of your 5 toes. Continue to feel this softness, feeling yourself just melt down into the earth as you rest in Shavasana. Slowly bring your awareness back into the body. Allow your breath to deepen. Bring gentle movements into your fingers and down into your toes. Gently turn your head from side to side. If you'd like, give your body a nice long stretch. Slowly bring one knee at a time into your chest. Slowly roll over onto the right side. Pause for one more moment, allowing your practice to settle, feeling the resonance of it physically, mentally, on your true self. And then very slowly press yourself up into a seated position, keeping your eyes closed, the head nice and heavy. And bring your hands together at heart center. So always take a moment to reconnect with the breath and the body. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be at peace. Namaste.